Cowboys trade targets coming up in a minute, but first, for the first time in a very long time, since the Cowboys are 3-0, they won this week and they beat the Commies with Cooper Rush. The BetUS jersey deal is back. If you want a free Cowboys jersey, here's how you can get one. Head over to BetUS at chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. Make sure you use that promo code and that URL. And when you sign up and deposit at least $100, you're getting two things. Number one, a 125% deposit bonus from BetUS and a jersey from us here at Chat Sports. Email us, jersey@chatsports.com, if you want in on that jersey deal. Not everything is available from that standpoint, the jersey-wise, like you're not getting the $300 one, but the official Nike jerseys are available. Jersey@chatsports.com. We'll need your BetUS account number, screenshot of your bet, plus your shipping information, your jersey size to actually get it to you. If you have questions, if you want in on that deal, just email us, jersey@chatsports.com. You'll get a message with all the information that we need from you. We'll take care of you. Jersey@chatsports.com. Links the email is in the comment section and in the description. All right, time now for some Cowboys trade targets. The deadline is less than a month away. It's way too early. I've got 6 different names, and I focus on the bigger names you could try to go out and acquire to take you from wild card, competing with the Eagles, to having a realistic shot this year. First up, a Cowboys legend reunion. How about Robert Quinn? I am not sold on the Chicago Bears this year, and there was the report that Robert Quinn wanted to be traded out of Chicago. So far this year, the Bears edge rusher, a little bit more held in check. Not the most successful results, only a sack. It's also been 4 games for a team that runs the football a lot, hasn't been able to pin their ears back and go get the opposing QB. But Quinn was an 18.5 sack guy, had the 11.5 for the Cowboys. If you want another pass rusher, imagine Quinn and Parsons and Tank Lawrence and Dante Fowler and Osa all coming off the edge. Oh, in the middle, ooh, that's fun. Plus, they have 2 Quinns in the end. The contract, by the way, is affordable. Now, this number, 2022, is based on the entire this year's salary. So, nerd math alert here, and this is true for all the guys we're going to discuss. In the event that you trade for a player, you don't owe them all $12.9 million. You owe that number divided by 17 for each of the games this year, and then times how many games you have left on the season. So it is a bit awkward and fluky from that standpoint, but that's the round number there. He's not that expensive. You're going to pay Randy Gregory that amount, and of course you didn't. Now he's hurt. Now the Cowboys have options at defensive end, not even including Micah Parsons, your dynamic pass rusher. Armstrong, I think, has played pretty well. Dante Fowler has played pretty well. But adding a Robert Quinn gives you another dynamic pass rusher. In the end, I am unconvinced that edge is your number one need. There's a different defensive lineman that we'll get to here in a second. But first, do you think the Cowboys will end up making a trade? Y for yes, N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, Y or N. This is a name, and the next two are really interesting to me, that I think would be an awesome fit on this Cowboys team. The one thing you're really missing on your defense is an elite defensive tackle. Maybe Osa steps up. Gallimore had a free rushing and made some nice plays last week. Daron Payne, though, is the perfect nose guard in the Monterey NFL. He can play all 3 downs. He still brings you run stopping and pass rush value. He's not a 1 or 2 down player like Quinton Bohanna, who, by the way, should be okay moving forward following the shoulder sprain. In this year, a very small sample size for Daron Payne, he already has 2 sacks and 4 TFLs. He is in the midst of his best year ever. It is not a coincidence, by the way, that this comes in a breakout or a contract year for Daron Payne. Of all the defensive tackles who I think are available, Grady Jarrett just got paid, so I don't think that's the route that they're going to go. Payne would be an upgrade over Bohanna, upgrade over Gallimore, and would give you another dynamic elite piece up front. Pay him, different conversation there, but 3rd round pick, I think, is the most you have to spend on Daron Payne. I think Quinn might even be more expensive from that standpoint. So now I've got 4 more names here. But I want to hear from you guys too. Realistic names only. Give me a realistic trade target for the Dallas Cowboys this year. Again, realistic. I've got a non-realistic name I know I'm going to see in the comments at the end of today's video, but give me a realistic target in the comments. In the past, I've said Isaiah Simmons, not a realistic target. Now I'm not so sure because I don't understand what the Cardinals are doing with Isaiah Simmons. He's not a full-time starter all of a sudden. Started every game last year. They made him into the robber role, and now he was a backup for 2 games. The Cardinals saved some money. He's not that expensive. And if there is a single defensive coordinator in the entire NFL who could unlock the dynamic Isaiah Simmons flex piece, chess piece on defense, isn't it Dan Quinn? I love Daron Payne, but isn't taking Isaiah Simmons hitting the upgrade button, at least prospect-wise? Isaiah Simmons played a lot in week 1. Didn't play great in that weird, nickel corner overhang role. Tried using Derwin James, that's fine. Then he got benched for 2 games. But then he played more against the Panthers, who are bad. I genuinely do not understand. They did this with Hassan Reddick, too. They have no idea how to properly utilize these dynamic chess pieces on defense. Simmons played really well last year. And he was supposed to be a key part of their new look defense, and now he's not playing. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Free Isaiah Simmons, I say, and free him into Dallas. I don't know what the cost is, but adding Simmons and Daron Payne and Malik Hooker and Micah Parsons, that is so much fun for a defensive coordinator like Dan Quinn. Now, if you're a true diehard Cowboys fan, hit that sub button. When Cowboys stuff happens, we break it down. That's news, rumors, updates. Only if you're a true diehard Cowboys fan do we want you to sub. Hit that big red button right now. I could have gone heavier on receiver. I have not thought they're going to. One name we know there was some interest in is Denzel Mims. Per a New York report, the Cowboys were among the teams that called the Jets about Denzel Mims, and allegedly the Jets wanted a 5th or a 4th round pick for Denzel Mims, and shockingly, nobody said yes because Mims he has 2 cheap years left, but he's buried on the depth chart, not even being active most game days the past really year and a half here. His career numbers are not that great. He was awesome at Baylor. I loved him coming out, but teams are wary. When you needed playmakers last year, Denzel Mims couldn't get on the football field. He kind of is in the Fehoko and I guess / Tolbert bucket of they have some talent, but they're not getting chances right now with their current team. Fehoko's barely played. Tolbert's been a scratch. Denzel Mims has been a scratch. There is talent. There is upside. Don't get me wrong there with Denzel Mims. But I wonder if the window for a trade kind of passed a little bit there. Of the 2 sides of the football, where do you think the Cowboys should look for help? O for offense, D for defense. I thought about offensive line, but we'll do more of these videos in the future. But also, there's not many great offensive linemen out there. It's kind of a bad crop there. O for offense, D for defense. Because you've seen Dion Jones linked so frequently to America's team, I felt the need to include him in this situation. Now, Jones been kind of a weird path lately for the Falcons. He has a $1.12 million base salary. Super cheap. The Falcons restructured his deal. I want to make him more palatable for a trade, but he's hurt right now. He is on IR, out for the first 4 weeks. We'll see when he comes back. If he comes back, that could make sense then as a trade target. Now, Jones last year was not good in coverage. I got some Anthony Barr vibes with him, where too many missed tackles, beat too much in coverage. Dan Quinn knows him. If anyone can get the most out of Dion Jones, isn't it Dan Quinn again? Don't you have so much more confidence in adding a didn't work there, might work here piece on defense with Dan Quinn than you do on offense with Kellen Moore? I certainly feel that way. Is linebacker a big need? Parsons is playing almost pure edge. Not really. They finally had Cox out active without injuries at linebacker. Devin Harper was a scratch, but unless someone gets hurt, I don't know how big of a need linebacker really is. Finally, DJ Moore. And I only put him on here because I know you guys are going to ask about him. The answer is no. The Panthers literally just extended DJ Moore on a 3-year, nearly $62 million contract. I know people want to save DJ Moore from Carolina. I get it. It's not going well. Matt Rule's going to get fired. Trading away DJ Moore is the ultimate, you know what, we're just going to blow it up and tank. Like, they didn't need to. They didn't need to pay him. They could have kept him on a cheap deal and then not eaten a ton of dead money by trading away DJ Moore. I don't see any scenario outside of owner David Tepper saying, we suck. I'm tanking for 2 or 3 years. DJ Moore is young. He's talented. You don't trade those guys even if you're bad because they can still be a key building block for you long term. So for guys like DJ Moore, I know it's fun. I know it's sexy. Do not get your hopes up there.